Never judge a book by its cover. Isn't that how the saying goes? At 35 years old, I had made a decision that would change my life forever. A decision that I'm living with each and every day. This is my story. A life in transition.
Something that happened at my daughter's school to her. She has, I don't know if I brought it up before in the past, but she lives in South Carolina. And I know that the Carolinas are going through this big transition of trying to get this law passed where, transgender people would not be able to use the ladies' room. And it's kind of ridiculous in my eyes because I have never gone into a bathroom and had anybody trip on me, and nor do I think that anybody, especially like a transgender person who's going into the ladies' room or the men's room, if you're a trans male, then we're not going in there to start trouble. We're not going in there to be perverts, as a lot of people say. It seems to be the word that's getting thrown around with it. It's not like that at all. We have, there's no reason for us to do that. We're not predators, I don't know of many people out there that have been arrested or transgender. At least I haven't heard any stories or read about many transgender people that are arrested for sexual assault or something like that in a bathroom. Excuse me. So here's what happened to my daughter, and it's kind of along those lines. She went to school, and she had a friend of hers, not really a friend, I guess an acquaintance, someone she knows at school through passing or whatever, and she goes, Araya, guess what? Araya is my daughter's name. And Araya says, what? And she goes, I hate transgender people. And Araya said, what? And she goes, yeah, and my mom said that if they are allowed to use our bathrooms, then they're going to be in there raping people, and they're nothing but a bunch of perverts. And ouch. Once again, I'm sorry, baby, that you had to go through that, and I'm sorry that her parents are teaching her such ignorance and such filth, and that I'm sorry for her whole family, because I know that they'll be nothing but a bunch of judgmental and overbearing people for the rest of their life, that are just constantly trying to point their finger at somebody else to hide their own flaws, most likely. And that's the thing is ladies, don't teach your kids that. Guys, don't teach your kids that. I don't know. The best I could tell my daughter was just don't give it any of your energy, baby, and don't give it. People are entitled to their opinions. I understand that, and that's what makes America great. Is we all can have our opinions. We can all speak our voice, just like I'm doing right now, and that includes them. That includes the people that are just spewing hatred and spewing ignorance. So here's a little girl who's 12 years old, 13 years old, coming up to my baby and saying that to me after, basically my daughter is a very, very big advocate for me now, and even though I tell her not to be and not to try and fight my fights or our battles, don't make them theirs, you know what I mean? She refuses to. She just does not want to. She just doesn't want to idly stand by on the sidelines. She wants to be an active part of what's going on. So, unfortunately, this might be one of the repercussions of that. It's what I said to my daughter about the scenario, and you guys can write in is and let me know if I handled it right as a parent or not. But I had told her that under no circumstances should she retaliate against someone or allow that person to steal that power from them. Basically, I told her that first of all, next time it happens, she has my permission to do whatever she wants. She can either, wail off on her or go and do her. I don't even care if she hits the girl. I don't know. I don't know how strongly she feels about it. But I know though now as a kid, if someone said something to me like that about one of my family members, I would be pretty mad, and I don't know what I would do. So I gave her permission to do whatever she needed to do, but I gave her my advice would be just to walk away and not give it any power. Either that or throw out, just throw out the facts. You know what I mean? Throw it out the facts as we know. Like, transgender people don't go to prison usually for much more than prostitution or petty theft, things like this. You know what I mean? From what I understand, there's such a minute percentage of prison inmates are transgendered people. None of them, I don't think. I'm sure there are a few. There are exceptions to the rule, but the majority, I would say, are not in there for sexual crimes, or sexual assault, and certainly not rape in a bathroom. To whoever's parent that was, who's teaching her daughter this, and I mean that's a little carried away, and that's a little far fetched for someone to say. We are such a small portion of the population of this planet, and I guarantee 99% of us, when we walk into a bathroom, do not want to be messed with, and we do not want to mess with somebody else. We just want to go to the bathroom like everybody else. And I'm sorry, every transgender person that I've met, they're not perverts. They're regular people. They're just people like you, trying to live their life in peace, and they try to blend in as best as they possibly can. So have a heart. Don't buy into the hype of just don't buy into hatred anymore. I mean, this is not the time to be hating people. We gotta start loving each other around here, because Jesus Christ, I mean, how long are we gonna be hating each other? Anyway, so that being said, it was sad to hear my daughter tell me that, and it made me wish she was back here in California with me. And I know she can't come home right now, and she's out there living with her mother, and that's just the way it is. But I'm sorry, baby. I know it's hard. It's a hard line for our kids to cross. Our children must bear this burden, and I didn't want mine to. I didn't want her to have to feel embarrassed about me, or get teased about me, or harassed about me, or even put in a situation like that where somebody just voicing her negative opinion to my daughter about anything in life. And when it's a direct result of something that you're doing, and that needless to say, it just sucks to hear her say that to me. Needless to say, well, that is where I was going to go with this. When I first started, when I first came out on Christmas, I got back and I had a job at Grassroots Campaigns, and we were basically just out, raising money for the LGBT community to send these educational packets back to states like South Carolina, where here my daughter is going to be 13. She's been out there for 2 years now. She's going to be 13, and they have not brought up the fact that transgender people even exist in their health class in school. And she told me that they didn't speak about any kind of homosexual or any kind of. It was all heterosexual sex thing, and it was and the lack of education is what's killing us. You know what I mean? I don't know if these people realize, you guys who are watching this, if you know somebody who's against the bathroom law and all that stuff, then just let them know. These little kids out there have it hard. I mean, I don't know if people are aware of this, but 7 million kids a year commit suicide. Out of those 7 million, 80% of them are of the LGBT community. And out of those 80%, 35% of them are transgender. 35% of transgender people kill themselves. Why is this? As parents, can't we step up? As a nation, can't we step up and just realize that there's no room for bullying in schools? Realize that there is no room to teach our children hate anymore. For all you know, when you send them to school with a message of hate like that, they might have a transgender principal, a gay teacher. All you're doing is teaching your child to be ignorant and teaching your child that it's okay to hate people. And it's not okay to hate people, not in this day and age. I'm sorry. It's not. Bottom line is, it's not. And if you still feel that way, if you still think that if I walk into a bathroom, I am just a pervert and not just trying to go to the bathroom, that's the type of ignorance and that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. You learned that from someone. You didn't learn it by a transgender person running in there and assaulting your mother, assaulting your grandmother, or cousin, or auntie, or niece. You heard that through the grapevine. Anyway,